Log homes are different than your standard built homes. They are built with all wood, generally in rural locations, and the insurance can be a little bit more unique on these types of properties as well. Log homes are unique properties. There's superior craftsmanship that's involved. There's rustic appeal. They're generally in very rural locations as well. And because of the construction difference from your standard frame built home, insurance can sometimes be a little tricky and a little more hoops to jump through. A critical aspect in keeping your insurance costs down is to work with an agency that knows what they're doing, that has those markets that are available, that knows the ins and outs of log cabins and what questions to ask to ensure you have the proper coverage, you have a carrier that fits the appetite, as well as provide a competitive rate. Log home insurance is a homeowner's policy on a log home or log cabin. So it provides coverage to the dwelling, any detached structures, liability, the contents that are inside the home. And again, because of the unique characteristics of the home, not every single insurance carrier is going to insure this type of property. There are several factors that are involved with why a log home is different than a standard built home, specifically on the insurance side. First, obviously the construction materials are totally different. With being a log home, again, they're generally more customized. They're not just your cookie cutter frame property, and therefore with the increased and uniqueness of the construction materials, that can make insurance companies be wary, which also then plays into the replacement cost of these homes. You can't just hire any contractor to come out and repair a part of a log cabin or to build a new property. You're gonna need a specialized contractor that works on log homes in order to repair and replace any damage. And fire risks are also a big one. Again, due to the rural location of the log homes, due to the combustible material, with it being all wood that it's built out of, there are a lot of insurance carriers that will shy away from insuring them for that reason. And with the rural location and the combustible material, it also is generally, there can be wood burning stoves in these types of homes, again, which also is going to affect insurance carriers' appetite. The characteristics that insurance carriers are going to be looking for specifically with log cabins to impact eligibility, first, is it a kit or custom built log cabin? Every carrier's appetite is going to be a little bit differently. Some will only insure if it is a kit. Some will only insure if it is a custom built. Some don't have a preference between one or the other, but knowing the type of material that's used and the exact type of construction can make a big difference on eligibility. The protection class is also a characteristic the insurance companies are going to look for, which essentially is just terminology to say how close is the nearest fire department. Are we looking at 3 miles? Are we looking at 5? Is it over 7? Is it 10? They're going to want to figure out where are the responding fire departments. Are they volunteer? Are they paid? How quickly can they get there? What's their hauling capacity? Oftentimes we have to complete additional questionnaires to try to figure out, essentially if a fire does occur, what's that response time look like? I'll oftentimes get asked, is the cost of log home insurance different than standard homeowners insurance? And the short answer is yes. That cost is generally going to be higher, really just due to market appetites, rather than being able to go to, any company that you want to. There's really only a couple that are going to do it and going to do it competitively. Also, again, those characteristics versus the kit, the custom, the wood stove, the distance to the nearest fire department, that is also going to make a big factor into what's the rating that's associated with that log home insurance. I have several clients with these log homes, and they're kind of all over the spectrum. Again, some of them are more closer to town, much easier to place a risk there, but sometimes they are 7, 8 miles away. There may be a wood burning stove. Is it UL listed? Is there any farm exposure that's there? There are going to be several of these domino effect questions. They're going to come with insuring a log cabin. There are several of them that we already have on the books. One of the key factors in keeping your log home insurance low is to keep it bundled with your auto insurance. Carriers are going to offer anywhere from a 15 to 25% discount to keep them bundled together. So as long as that auto is competitive, 99% of the time it does make sense to bundle, especially in the case of a log home. Here at Hitchings Insurance, we do have several options available for log homes. Again, we're going to ask a lot of these questions that have been in this video, but then we're going to figure out what's the best appetite, what's the competitive rate, let's look at bundling, and kind of what makes sense for you at the end of the day. If you found this video helpful, you can follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with the other educational videos that will be coming out.